Roger Waters with Pink Floyd there. When I recorded my previous video, I was shocked to find that the State Department had boasted on their website of creating a strategic partnership, a pact, a mutual defense agreement with Ukraine, signed on November 10th by Biden, U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, on November 10th, 2021, and this was an affirmation of an agreement also signed by President Zelensky of Ukraine and Joe Biden on September 1st, 2021. This is a casus belli. I don't know if this was used as justification by Vladimir Putin to invade Ukraine, but I'm sure any Kremlin lawyer could take this partnership and say this was motivation enough for them to send the tanks in. I'm not excusing the horrific invasion in any way, but I'm saying for a KGB thug like Vladimir Putin, this is all the pretext he needed to go to war and to reclaim what he thought was a wayward part of the Soviet Union, that being Ukraine. What I'm more concerned with is the foolishness of the Biden administration, and in particular Biden's Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. We've all seen his incompetence over the organization of NATO and Poland wanting to send out fighter jets to Ukraine. Here's an article from National Review by JIM GERAGHTY, Biden's baffling MiG-29 reversal. The Biden administration flipped from supporting a transfer of Polish MiG-29 fighter jets to the Ukrainians. Secretary Anthony Blinken: No, that gets a green light. In fact, we talk with our Polish friends right now about what we might be able to do to backfill their needs. We're in very active discussions with them about that. According to historian Bing West, the Biden administration's about-face in the case of the MiGs encourages Putin in his view that we lack resolve. It probably also tells Putin that Team Biden is a bunch of incompetents who don't have any clue how to conduct diplomacy, how to negotiate agreements, or how to conduct the United States in a time of war. So when I first mentioned this strategic partnership here, which the U.S. Department of State boasts about as a diplomatic accomplishment, I was lazy. I mean, it looked on the surface as something so moronic that they would do this months before the actual invasion. Precisely 4 months from today, November 10th, 2021, is when they signed this agreement. And you have to feel for President Zelensky of Ukraine, because the United States signed this agreement promising all sorts of military assistance should they be invaded, and then every person in the Biden administration backtracked on this agreement and said, well, you're on your own, we'll give you moral support from the West, which was ridiculous. But I was lazy. I did not read through this whole thing. Scroll with me now to the very last sentence of this agreement, and you're going to see something even more remarkable. This charter replaces the U.S.-Ukraine Charter on Strategic Partnership signed at Washington on December 19, 2008. The United States and Ukraine intend to revise this charter every 10 years. Welcome to Machine, precisely as Roger Waters was warning us about. Joe Biden has no idea why he signed this. On September 1st, 2021, he was just ordered to sign this for the machine. Imagine if President Donald Trump had been brought this agreement. Trump would have picked up the document, and he would have stared at it, and he would have started asking questions. Trump would have asked questions like, what is the benefit here for the United States to sign a formal pact with Ukraine? Trump would ask, what will Putin's reaction be to this provocative document? The document wasn't provocative to Putin in 2008, but Putin has been warning since 2008, if any country enters into a mutual defense pact with Ukraine, Putin will invade. Russia will invade. He's said this every year since 2008. to 2022, and now we actually have the invasion. But Trump would have said, who thinks up these things? And he would have demanded answers. And that's my question here. Who is it that wrote this agreement? Who is it that brought this agreement to Joe Biden, the President of the United States, on September 1st, 2021, and said, sign this, Mr. Biden. This will improve the world situation, improve world economies, and make us look good and diplomatic. Because I would wonder, who are the people in the machine coming up with things like this for President Biden to sign? At this very moment, I bet President Biden doesn't even remember that he signed this agreement. And Anthony Blinken wishes he didn't. But it's still up on their website. So I don't know who's running our country, but I can tell you that the people coming up with things like this, they don't have to worry about the price of gasoline. They don't have to worry about whether Putin decides to keep invading more countries. The machine ordered this war. And we have to ask, who is it that comes up with things like this? Donald Trump asked those questions, and for that, the deep state had to get rid of him and replace him with someone who would obey the machine. But is the world a better place with the machine running it? And I would say, no. Thank you.